Okay, so I wanted to give you an update really quick. It's been great so far. I've gone through 5 hives and I have marked all 5 new queens from this year. This is the only one so far that was a nuke that's not ready for to move into a deep box. It was a small swarm, maybe about 2 frames worth. But this was originally this little, or this big packed, as you can see, was a nuke that I used to graft queen cells, and all of a sudden a queen emerged and killed the other ones, had the bees kill them. So I'm gonna go through here and look at their progress, and if I need to, add another box because they're the oldest smaller hive that it was a small hive to begin with, and they're the oldest of all the small ones that I had. So if it's ready for another box, I'll go ahead and add another box, hopefully find the queen, mark it for y'all again. But today has been good so far. Now I haven't got into my big hives yet. The only downside is I don't have many boxes left and I need more frames. So I'm gonna have to do that soon. I like to take the feeder out just to give me more room to work with. Make sure y'all can see and that lid isn't in the way. Let's go right there. So let's inspect this really quick. If they have it all drawn out, I'll go ahead and add another box. Hopefully next week I'll be able to buy some more frames. The next inspection, do some more adding boxes and frames. So they're still drawn out on this outside frame, but as far as everything else, they've got it drawn out really well. This is full of nectar. Oh, that's beautiful. So I'm gonna leave that here on the outside still, which is what they normally do, have the nectar and pollen frames on the outside. Brood chamber, or the brood nest, is going to be towards the center. But this, for being a small split that I made to make as a cell builder, their numbers are great. You can see they've got a bunch of nectar on the outside, all eggs and larvae on the middle. So that is a great queen. So even though she killed my other ones, my grafts, she's doing pretty good. So all new wax, new comb, larvae of different size, different stages, and eggs. Got a little queen cup, so I'm just gonna go ahead and open her up. Ain't nothing in it, but just like to have it open. If I spot the queen, I'll mark her. I've gotten a little better since I've already done 5 now, or 4. So if I do add a box, I will bring 1 frame up just to kind of encourage the bees to go up there. And what I'll do is I'm gonna do a single brood chamber on this one. I'll put a queen excluder on it, let those eggs hatch, let them draw out that comb. And there's eggs all in every cell. Just a great queen. I mean, as they emerge, I'm sure she's gonna fill them in. Look at that brood nest. Great queen. The cool thing is, you know, when you have the feeling like, hey, I did that. Granted, it was an accident with her. I did a split and, well, took a bunch of frames and was gonna make my queen cells, and I forgot 1 queen cell, and she hatched early compared to the others and killed them all. So but look at that pattern, just eggs everywhere, and then there's the actual pattern right there. Beautiful. Eggs and larvae on the outside, some nectar coming in. So this is gonna be a great colony. Like I said, I am gonna do a single brood chamber on this one. I'll put a queen excluder, bring 1 frame up, let them start drawing out the wax on it. Just look at that. Pollen, brood, nectar on top. Wow. Fantastic. Now that looks spotty, but it's really not. There's pollen, and then whatever's open is an egg. That is insane. She's doing great. I'm really excited about it. Trying to take a little bit of time, see if I spot her. And if I don't, oh well, she's doing her job. I leave her alone. You know, y'all get scared about these little cups every now and then, but just squish them. And this was just a little split, you know, technically a little 5-frame nuke without a queen. Raised one, took a while for the queen to come in. Look at that brood nest. That is gorgeous. There's the queen right there. She is big and beautiful. So if y'all could see her, she's right here. She is beautiful. Look at that pattern. This one is freaking pretty. So I'm trying to pin her down. Use my legs. I know y'all can't see because my hands are in the way, but she acts like she's dead for a little bit and she takes off walking. She just walked onto another frame. Pretty sure she went down there. So I'm going to show you how she looks after she's marked. She went to the edge of the frame and kept on walking, but look at that gorgeous pattern. I am super happy with this. I'm going to find that queen for y'all really quick. Which these are just going to be booming. I have to add another box just to give them some room. So I'm going to come back through here, try to find that queen, show you what she looks like when she's marked. It is easier with the white spot on her to spot her. I just got to find the frame she's actually on. Which this hive is actually very calm for being a big hive. For being a big population for my bees. And there she is right there. She is marked. You see her walking. She's got a little mark on her. Doing her thing. Super exciting. So I'm gonna leave her there. Continue with my inspection. And now I honestly don't have to continue. It's just since they're so jam-packed right now, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure there's no cells or anything. Larva eggs, wow. This is the kind of stuff I love to see. Fresh wax. Just drawn out wax everywhere, fresh. Eggs in every cell for the most part. Look at that, just, I love it. And this is probably the least drawn out frame. Look how pretty that white wax is. They're drawing it out, filling it up with nectar. So, like I said, I'm gonna add another box. And I'm gonna go ahead and do it as a single brood chamber. So I have another box here. I'm gonna take a couple frames out in the center. And I'm actually gonna bring a couple frames up. What I'm gonna do is set this up here on top of the lid. Excuse me if I'm in your way. Just so y'all can see how I do it. Trying to move my phone up with my gloves and everything. Alright, so I'm gonna open up the center. I'm gonna grab 2 frames from the middle. Make sure they have a lot of brood so I can make sure the nurse bees go up there, which that's amazing. Make sure my queen isn't up there because I'm gonna add that queen excluder. Because if I did, then she'd be trapped up here, wouldn't have a place to lay. Those down there would be going crazy. So since I am doing that, I am gonna double check and make sure I spot my queen again before I actually add that. So this is another good frame to take, a bunch of larvae. Now I don't have to add a queen excluder. A lot of people don't like them, but I'm trying to do some tests just for the heck of it. And there's a queen down here marked, so I'm gonna leave her down here. And I'm gonna go ahead and checkerboard these. Frame, old frame, new frame, and then close this up again. So what they're gonna end up doing, they're gonna end up drawing out the comb on these 2 new frames, and then the same thing with all the frames up top. Put my feeder back in, Granted, I don't need it because of the nectar flow right now, but I like to have one in each one, so whenever it is time to feed, I could just go ahead and open it up, feed. I'm gonna get my queen excluder. I'm gonna smoke these down, put the queen excluder on. Smoke these girls down. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this in here. Alright. Add the box on top. And to think, within just not even I have to go through my notes to see when the last time was when I tried to graft. But since then, as a little small 5-frame nuke, to this, adding a super on already. Just crazy when the flow's on. Put these back down. Put them in. And just kind of close the top box. Put my brick back on top. She's got it. So that was a good little inspection right there for y'all. I'm gonna leave it as a single brood chamber, have them just pack out the bottom, hopefully build up the top and bring in nectar. So that's just a trial run. If it gets too crowded, I will add another box, but I do need more frames.